Hello everyone, this is Yasmin Fatma from the Department of English, Government College Dock. Today I am going to tell you something about J.B. Priestley's essay on doing nothing. J.B. Priestley, born in 1894, was the son of a schoolmaster and he got his education from Bradford and from Trinity Hall, Cambridge. He was a versatile writer. He wrote dramas, novels, critical books and essays which include The Challenge, The English Comic Characters, Development of Novel, Papers from Lilliput, Open House, from which our essay has been taken, Brief Diversions, The Good Companions, Angel Pavement and many more. He got the James Ted Black Prize for his novel The Good Companions. He died in 1984. In this essay, Priestley speaks in praise of idleness. He describes the joy of doing nothing. He says, if you really want to enjoy walking freely and happily, you should go on a moor. This, he says, is the most suitable place for walking idly. A moor seems to be the entrance to heaven. This is the view of J.B. Priestley himself, that such places like a moor are like the entrance of heaven. When a man enters a moor, he feels as if he is entering into heaven. He compares a moor to heaven and says one enjoys the same repose and calmness here which is enjoyed by holy souls in the heaven. In heaven also, souls only enjoy the surroundings, doing nothing. In the same way, the author and his friend are also doing nothing but enjoying idleness. He says a moor or uncultivated piece of land seems unattractive, but in reality it has its own attraction. So he is describing one of his personal experiences when he went to spend his holidays with his artist friend. He lived among the Yorkshire fells, and which was 10 miles away from the station, and it was from that place they used to go on a walk which was 2000 miles above the sea level. So this is the description of that beautiful place. So he says that apparently it seems monotonous. There is no sound, no other activity that can be enjoyed. But if one's mind is full of imagination, it can still find pleasure from this dull and monotonous atmosphere. He can create his own world of delight through his imagination. Now, does this recall something to your memory? You remember Andrew Marvell's poem Thoughts in a Garden? Let me read out those particular lines for you. Andrew Marvell in his Thoughts in a Garden says, meanwhile the mind from pleasure less withdraws into its happiness. The mind, that ocean where each kind does strike its own resemblance find, yet it creates, transcending these far other worlds and other seas. annihilating all that is mad to a green thought in a green shed. In the same way, Priestley also says that we can enjoy even this monotonous place with our imagination. Our imagination can create a better, beautiful world in our mind, and this gives us pleasure. In childhood also, you remember, we used to enjoy creating some figure in the changing shapes and size of clouds through our imagination. I hope all of you have done this. Sometimes these clouds look like a girl, sometimes they look like a bear or elephant or something else. There were so many shapes which were created by our imagination. In the same way, the author and his friend enjoyed and created some image in these clouds and also in the horizon through their imagination. He said, all things created by imagination will keep you busy and you will be happy for the whole day. So even doing nothing, you are doing something, that is, you are getting pleasure from your surroundings through your imagination. How beautiful the idea is. Priestley describes the beauty of the moor. He says that place, even after being uncultivated, has its own beauty. There are pieces of land which are grassy, and the grass is so soft and velvety that it allures you to take a rest on it and enjoy the calmness and velvety touch of the grassy patches. As I have told you that the place where he was staying and where he used to go with his friend was 10 miles away from the station, and it was 2000 feet above the sea level. So you can imagine that it was a very remote place. The remoteness of the place keeps it away from any human activity. People do not go there, so the beauty of the place remains unspoiled. It has become permanent. Nobody goes there, so the surroundings remain the same. It seems the place is indifferent to human beings. It means they don't invite people to come there and spoil the beauty. So this untouched and unspoiled beauty is always fresh. As we saw in the poem Thoughts in a Garden, that it creates a freshening impression. It creates freshness, greenness in our mind. So the surroundings are so calm and peaceful that the mind also becomes calm and it gets fresh. It has a refreshing effect on the mind. Only the sound of a water bird, that is, the name of that bird is curlew, only the sound of this bird can be heard and nothing else. So it is fully peaceful and calm place. They spend their time enjoying the peaceful surroundings, doing nothing. But he creates humor. Priestley creates humor when he says that it does not mean we were not at all doing anything. Lying idly there does not mean that we were not doing anything. He says we smoked, ate sandwiches, chocolates, and drank water from a gurgling waterfall. this waterfall, he says, also creates a beauty of its own, because the origin of this waterfall is not known to them. So the mystery of the origin of this waterfall also creates some imagination in their mind, and they get pleasure from it. So they were doing all these small activities like eating sandwiches, smoking, eating chocolates, and drinking water. But apart from this, they were not doing anything. They tried not to do anything. They did not even allow any thought to come to their mind. They did not talk like other young fellows, but they exchanged some ideas now and then without having any discussion. So they were indulged in simple talk. They did not have any discussion, any argument. They just enjoy the beauty of the place, and they talked about it. Their talk was also very simple. It was not about the worldly affairs. They completely enjoyed their time forgetting the worldly affairs. Forgetting worldly affairs gave them great pleasure. This reminds me one more poem, that is John Dryden's Shadwell. In this poem also we have been told about a king who is lying thoughtlessly. Thoughtless in that poem means something else, and we are taking thoughtless in this context as carefree, having no worries in the mind. Let me read out the lines. And seems designed for thoughtless majesty. Priestley also felt like a king when he was lying there and enjoying the beauty of the place, and he was lying there thoughtlessly. Thoughtlessly does not mean that he does not have any imagination or any idea in his mind. Thoughtless here means, for Priestley, it means being carefree, being free of all worries. Thoughtless as monarch oaks that shed the plain and spread in solemn state. Now this solemn state is also important, because Priestley also speaks in favor of solemn state. Solemn is lying passively, doing nothing and all, but just enjoying the nature. Supinely ran. So they were lying on their backs. In these lines I find some resemblance with the idea of Priestley. That is why I have read them out for you. So he was lying there like a king, and his mind was empty. He did not think about the worldly affairs. He was just enjoying the beauty of nature.